All right, guys. Married to Medicine, season 11, episode 6. This is Rodeo Reckoning. And basically, we're going to start off where we left off in the last episode, which is the fight. So, this is pretty much the aftermath of the fight, right? So, everybody is scattering, going their own separate ways, trying to figure out what just happened and what we're going to do, right? So, we got Jackie pulling Heavenly away. As we seen last week, talking about some, please, just stop, and giving her the tears. And she was just basically saying in her confessional, she was so frustrated and just overstimulated. And she honestly felt that the yo mama comment from Heavenly was just, unwarranted. And she basically can't defend her for that. So while she calming her down, they walking away, going back to their cabins. Quad and Phaedra is still sitting at the table, and they like, well, I'm just gonna eat, which is understandable, because if I was hungry, I would have ate too, before the food get cold. I don't even know if they had microwaves in the dang rooms. But anyway, we see Contessa as she's walking away with Toya and Sweet Tea. Basically, Contessa is just feeling like, look, they just can't sit there and just let Heavenly do this, right? She just talked her mouth. You know what I'm saying? It's just so vile. Like she can't just be talking about somebody's dead mom and nobody say anything, Like, what kind of group is this? I don't want to be around girls if this is how it's going to be. And Toya's just like, yeah, she knows her mouth is just lethal. And it was bound to happen, right? Because pretty much as we know, Heavenly, that's just kind of her go-to, right? Like, if you pushing her pushing her back against the wall, she's going to spit venom. You know what I'm saying? So it's just something that she couldn't prevent, pretty much. Like it was just unpreventable, should we say. But that doesn't make it okay, right? Is what Contessa is trying to say. Like how Toya was trying to justify it and trying to make excuses for Heavenly at that moment. That's what Contessa means. Like, y'all just letting her do it and nobody was gonna say nothing, nobody's gonna do nothing. And how is Jackie the only one that can calm her down? So, at the table it was Quad and Phaedra while they was eating. Heavenly and Jackie ended up walking up. So Quad and Phaedra agreed that, hey, the yo mama comment was just a little bit too far, right? And Heavenly like, I mean, yeah, but I just said it. Like, you know what I'm saying? she just justifying it as, listen, I was just saying what I said, but I didn't really mean that, her mama was whatever I said. Like, I didn't really mean it. Like, I actually know the lady or anything like that. Like, trying to be malicious, I just said it. So, the ladies just pretty much brush it off. And Quad proceeds to ask Jackie, like, yo, well, how about that apology, that Toya had brought up the other day about how that blank check, what was that all about? So Jackie like, well, basically, I meant what I said when I apologized originally for whatever the incident was in the first place, right? So I can't really remember. But when it came to Napa and stuff, she was like, yeah, that blank check comment, it was, I pretty much, that's what I said. Like, everything that you felt that I did to you, I wanted you to write it all down. And, you know what I'm saying? And that's what I'll be sorry for. And that's how she felt. So, okay, Quad's like, fine. But she was just saying how she was still hurt because it felt like everybody came together. The decision to kick her off was already made. So it was like, it was nothing she can do. And nobody basically checked on her after the fact. So, of course, Heavenly, this is when she's crying and all this stuff, right? So Heavenly goes to her and says, oh, well, I'm sorry. And, I forgot Simone was sitting here because at this moment when Quad was doing this, right, her whole dramatic speeches that she always do when she comes to tears, only thing she don't do is crumble up that paper to make a little triangle and go like that. But Simone's face was just looking at her like, Okay, girl, whatever. Because yeah, what? It's the same thing you be doing. Okay? So basically, what can we do now is what Phaedra is trying to say. Because, she called herself being the peacemaker here. And Simone was just trying to say, like, look, this is like a merry-go-round type of relationship when it comes to Quad, right? Because we'll be cool, and then something happens, so I gotta jump off the merry-go-round. But when, and then she'll come back around, and if I'm able to catch up, with a good running start, I can jump back on that merry-go-round, and we're gonna be cool. But then the minute that she feels slighted or something, then I'm back off, So for her, she said, look, I can apologize for New York, but she still ain't apologized for Napa. So Quad is just the crying. And I guess at some point Simone did kind of feel bad. I don't know, the tears got to her. To me, they were a bit fake, so it didn't get to me. And Jackie just decides to pray for everybody. Okay, cool. We get on to the next day, and Jackie, oh my God, I need a nurse. Ooh, I done fell down. They done pushed me, and I'm hurt. Look at my hand. Somebody, where's the medic? Somebody check on me. So they do bring the medic in on her and everything. So I was really thinking that she was hurt and everything. Girl, come to find out she ain't. She just about to play a little prank on the girls just to try to teach them a lesson. Like, see all that crazy things that y'all was going on over there. Y'all forgot about little bitty old me, and I was hurt in the process. So we'll let Jackie have this one. And let's see, the girls are getting ready for the day, just chilling. It's kind of like their last day on the ranch. So Quad is talking to her man, talking his ear off, because of course this is long montage of, it seemed as if as long as the girls was outside, which was I think it was like Contessa, Phaedra, Toya, Sweet Tea, they was out doing some herding, horseback type of activity, and Quad was just in there talking to her man, doop doop doop, this happened, and oh my God, and she said this, and then this, and then that happened, and she spun around and she fell down, and whoop de whoop de whoop, and he like, oh, for real, dang, yeah, it was a lot. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Nothing happening there. So a little side with Phaedra and Contessa, where Contessa just had a little moment to be like, dang, I can't believe that I done did something to Jackie. So this was, just a little light, funny moment of the episode. Because, yeah, the take was run about maybe 3-4 times this episode of you hitting the linebacker. I mean, not the linebacker. The running back. Maybe the running back or the tight end doing that quick spin move around to the touchdown. Girl, yes. Knock that girl clean out, because, she just basically blacked out, so she don't remember. So we jump over to the other ladies outside, and it was Quad, Heavenly, Jackie, and they was talking about, let me see, Jackie not really hurt. Of course, we already talked about that, teaching the girls a lesson. And she's planning this Met Gala thing, right? It's going to be the second Met Gala. The first one went pretty well. Was that the one where Toya she bought she bought her liquor, her wine, but she didn't buy the ticket or something? What, was it that? I'm not sure. But either way, Heavenly does Quad. Look, Heavenly does Quad. Heavenly does shake Contessa's little outfit in the moment, because they was just talking about the day and everything, the day before with the whole photo shoot and everything that led up to the fight. So Quad was just basically saying, like, well, she's happy that she got a little resolve with Simone. Cool with her. And she just wanted to keep that moment that they got going on right now, which is we cordial. We can be around each other. We can talk if we need to. I like this where we at. If we need to go a little deeper, we will. But at the moment, fine. But with Heavenly, with Contessa, of course, they're not resolved yet, because we just blew up with the fight. And we didn't get no resolve from that fight. We just walked away. So she just feels, though, as maybe Contessa just has some things that she needs to get out as well as her. But they let it fester for too long, for what, about 2 years. So that's kind of why they blowing up on each other. So Contessa is over here on the other side, and she's just basically expressing this friendship thing, like I was saying, between them. There's love there. It's the hurt is the brokenness of the broken trust, because she confided in you, Heavenly. That's the thing. It's not that everybody keeps saying, oh, well, she already put it out on the show, and Heavenly was just saying what she put on the show. No, guys. It's the things she was saying off the show in confidence, as girlfriend talking on the phone. Man, you can't believe, I don't even believe what Scott did today. And then she roll around and talk about stuff like that. Like, that is the line crossing. It's not, oh, what she repeated from the show. No. Because everybody knows that's understandable. No, it's what the friendship bond that we had off camera, to where I'm confiding in you, I'm telling you things, you know me, you know my life, and that's what you put out there. So that's where I'm trying. That's the disconnect that Contessa has with Heavenly, and Heavenly for some reason can't catch that. So yeah, Contessa is continuing to talk to Phaedra, and she's just like, yeah, Heavenly, we've been friends, talking on the phone, this and that. She knows about my mom. She knows that about our relationship, why I had my mastectomy, things like that. Like, girl, and this is what you do to me. Like, it's a backstab, betrayal type of thing. So Heavenly is on her side, and she just saying that she agrees, finally, but she ain't saying this to Contessa face, but she's telling this to Quad and Jackie, that, yeah, I agree that I should not have said your mama. And they recap all the fights or all the arguments, because they really not fist fights, but we call them fights. All the arguments that she done have with all the ladies, where she hits yo mama, yo mama, yo mama, yo mama, your mammy, your mammy, your mammy. She can't help herself. It's just in her. Let's say it's just in her. It's that 305. She date. She can't. You can take the girl out the date, but you can't take the date out the girl. So Quad brings up a really good point right here, because she says, okay, Heavenly, Sweet Tea, if I can remember, said whatever she said about your mama, right? And LaToya, sure do remember she said some shit too, right? But did you take it this far with them? I don't think so. So what's the difference between that and Contessa? You see what I'm saying? Why do you have to hit it so hard? Is it because that you know that she's so hurt that you that's the other thing. Like, maybe she actually do know that she's so wrong that she just can't be right. Some people be doing that too. So of course, like Heavenly says, she was wrong for saying the yo mama comment, and she agrees that they were just so close. They were friends. Her and Contessa saying the same thing. Like I said, we really did have that friendship, and with them crossing the line, she just doesn't think that they can. Where can they go? Can they really come back together? Because that trust between them is broken between each other. So we flip back to Contessa and Phaedra, and Contessa's just reminiscing again. Like, oh, I remember when I was first friends with Heaven. Like, I could see the good in her, right? And Phaedra's like, yeah, me too. When I first met her, she was cool and nice and all that good stuff. But now I see the mean girl antics that she pulls. And pretty much Contessa's like, this is just not normal. Like, this is some F shit. And the goal of this vacation was not accomplished. So Phaedra's like, well, where do we go from here? Like, how do we save the trip? And Contessa was just like, hey, we cannot put something together to make it happen. It has to happen organically. Nothing can be pulled off. Like, no strings can be pulled for anybody to do anything. People, if they want to change, it's going to have to happen organically. Okay, so we're going to leave the medicine wives alone for a second. We're going to flip over to these men's, because remember Greg and Damon? They got a little beef going on, a little misunderstanding, a little tension, right? And I don't think the men have actually been together as a whole since that last gathering that they had, right? So we kind of split up a little bit here. We got Scott, Dr. Scott, Cecil, and Dr. G. They're going four-wheeling and pretty much just joking around, just having fun. We get a little insight with Dr. Scott, like, ooh, he loved to get out because at their job, you know, him and Contessa on their own practice together. The best thing about that is, shoot, I can leave whenever I want to, and she gonna still be working. I'm not sure if he should admit that on camera or anything to people, but listen. Okay, listen. Okay, that's y'all. And they, you know, talking about the wives like they do. And on the other side, we got Eugene and Damon, which was kind of cute. Eugene invited Damon over to his house. He's like, man, it's like the first time that we can actually get together and by ourselves without the other men and actually hang. Like, it's just something that they never really done before. And he was trying to dress like Dr. Damon just to make it a little light, which I thought was funny. I never really noticed Dr. Damon's style because he's just a t-shirt man. So I'm like, okay. I never really noticed his style until now. So, you know, t-shirt, dog chain, boom, jeans, shoes, that's Dr. Damon. And Eugene was just trying to tell him, like, look, outsider looking in, both of y'all my friends, you, Dr. G, I'm just thinking that maybe Greg is a little bit hurt because he feels like you might have dismissed him a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So Damon is like, okay, I can respect the hurt, but, you know, he's a man. As a man, I feel like he should be able to say, you know, what's up? Like, you know what I'm saying? And we flip over to Cecil and Greg was just trying to tell them, like, right, I haven't talked to Damon since our last little dinner. And, you know, I tried to share, you know, Dr. Greg's side of things, you know, and I was just trying to say that it was the wives who had the problem, right? And I was trying to tell Damon that it was Heavenly, his wife, who bought me in it, Greg. And I don't want to be in it. So that's where, you know, obviously Damon is being disconnected on that end. So Scott is just saying, like, yeah, we know that Heavenly, if Heavenly is involved in any of these scuttlebutts, should we call them, then Damon will be a little bit defensive. If any of us brings them up, like bring her up, we already know that he gonna come for us. So we flip back over to Eugene, and he was just trying to, you know, like I say, he's sticking up for Greg at this point, and just trying to say that maybe Greg, with this newfound life that he has now, you know, the man might be having some struggle, conflict within himself because he's newly married. That's something he has to go through. He's newly back on a show that he was, sequentially kicked off of, right? Dang, what word did I just say? That didn't even sound right. But so scratch that, sorry. And he has to see his ex-wife probably more than he thought he would with coming back to the show, which, I mean, I'm sure he knew he would see her, but you know what I'm saying? Maybe it's something he thought, he's handling it for the most part. They both are handling it for the most part. Both of them being a little petty, but they're handling it. And he was just telling Damon that maybe you should be the bigger person and just try to come to him with, you know, with some resolve versus Greg because of what he just is going through. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, with all this stress, it's just something that he might not need to have arguing with you and your damn wife, right? So Damon just says, like, all right, I'll try to be the bigger man, even though, like, he don't want none of the guys to force him to do it. He just feels that as men, him and Greg will eventually just sit and they'll talk it out, because on his side, you know, we know Damon's demeanor is just so monotone, just so one note. And it's like, Yeah, I don't care. Whatever. I'll sit with him. I'll talk with him. Fine. And that's just Damon. So we'll see what happens. All right. So the ladies go out to eat, go to the restaurant, and they're taking a little shots and, talking and mingling with each other, having a couple laughs, which is cool. Because Contessa starts the conversation, which, can always change the moods when it comes to this type of thing. And she was just telling the ladies, like, look, I'm going to take full responsibility for the maturity level that I have displayed when it came to how I exploded on Heavenly, right? So because, this was a trip that her, Phaedra, and Sweet Tea had put together. And was it Toya? No, it was Phaedra, Contessa, and Sweet Tea. They put it together because it was supposed to be some type of women's togetherness retreat, and it did not work out that way. So, as a hostess, I'm sorry, everybody. Cool. And Simone was like, well, I really don't know what happened, right? Wrong thing to say, because Tessa is like, you don't know what happened? You don't know what happened, Quad? You don't know what happened, Toya? You don't know what happened, Jackie? Nobody saw what happened like last night? Nobody ears heard the scuttlebutt? So we don't know how it happened? So that's like I said, that's the problem that Contessa has with them. Because why are we just sweeping things under the rug as if they don't exist? And if they keep continuing to do this, Heavenly will never change. So, yeah, in this conversation, Phaedra's like, we move on. Simone's like, well, do we sleep it under the rug? Phaedra's like, well, we can actively resolve things once we get home. And Heavenly's like, well, let it happen by itself. The same as what Contessa has said. We'll let things happen organically. But wants to be in a cordial space with Contessa. Can we get there? I'm not sure. We'll see. Now, Sweet Tea ain't said nothing this whole episode until now. And she gonna tell Dr. Heavenly that Heavenly should hold her insults. That's the And Heavenly was like, nah, girl, we're not gonna do that. Don't you go there. I'm not talking to you. You better let it go. And while she's doing all this, Sweet Tea is like, well, no, I'm not letting it go. And Toya's like, listen, you can't stop Heavenly. Like, stop. Simone is like kind of everybody's just like, girl, no, don't do it. Just be. We was just here in a good space where we just all agreed that we need to actively resolve, right? So Toya is trying to say like, yeah, this is what Contessa is talking about, which I'm glad that it kicked into her mind because it's something that she did earlier, which is, unconsciously, a lot of us work that way, right, with certain things until people point it out to you, right? Because that's exactly what it was. Like, nobody is holding Heavily accountable for nothing that she's doing. But in this moment that we did have a little resolve, we was just trying to keep it. So that's why they was trying to keep Sweet Tea quiet or whatever, which, hey, I don't know. We just didn't want no more arguments because they just already knew where it was going to go. So we closed out our little trip with a little bit of Phaedra just saying, like, we had some good moments on the trip, and Quad saying yes, and everybody agreed. We said a couple things that everybody, got to handle, and the main thing with Quad was the Simone conversation, because we did get somewhere. The rest of the girls, hey, I don't know. We're going to have to figure that out later. All right, so Dr. Scott and Contessa, because everybody's home now. And pretty much she and he were just talking about the trip because the guys was talking, and he heard from Curtis that, dang, you don't push his wife down and everything. So Contessa like, nah, some things happen, and basically it was because Heavenly said that you was abusive. That's where it all started. Dr. Scott is like, well, I don't know why she would say things like that, whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop, because I've never displayed such things for her, and I thought we was all friends. And normally when y'all get into y'all little things, I just get up and walk away. And Contessa was like, well, see, that's it. That's the thing right there. That avoidable personality thing you got going on, she sees that as abusive. And I just think that we're just stuck in this little loop that we just can't get off of it, because like I said, I got what I feel, she got what she feel, and for some reason, and I would say it's on Heavenly side, because I feel like Contessa is in the right mind to understand both sides of everything. She just needs Heavenly to actually understand, and that's just the problem. It's Heavenly is mostly stuck in a loop, not her. And she honestly just couldn't believe, like, she just doubled down on the yo mama thing. Like, it wasn't like, yo mama joke. It was a real, like, yo mama, I don't give a F about you in this moment. Like, and yeah. So that's how that conversation with it was just like, look, I can't, she did what she did. So I did what I did. I blanked out and I went for her. But no, I did not touch her. But that was the goal. And hey, I don't know. We got to see where we go from here. But at this point, yeah, she's going to try not to choose no more violence. At least try not to. All right. So we end off this episode with Jackie and Phaedra and a party planner. Because Jackie, remember, we got a Met Gala coming up. Number 2, this is our second year. We want to make it good, make it bigger, make it nice. We want to raise up to about $25,000 is what I believe she said. But, Phaedra comes all in a little bit late because, the planner was there first on time. But here comes Phaedra just strolling in there with her Starbucks. But, excuse me. She's like, I'm going to be the co-host or the co-chair. Jackie asked me, and I'm so excited because this is what I do. I do the big parties. I love fundraisers. I got a lot of connections. Like, I got this. So, of course, Jackie is like, are you sure you got this? I sent you some messages. Did you get such and such? And she's like, let me look at my phone. The girl had like 60 unread text messages or emails or whatever it was. So she's like, oh, heck, let me go through these and see what she say. So see, that was red flag number 1 for you, Jackie, that strike 1. How you ain't open up the email when you know that we supposed to be in communications when we trying to do stuff? Co-host, co-chair. And Phaedra's like, oh, well, I think we can do $100,000. And Jackie like, girl, you think so? That's a little... We reaching. Like, this is only the second Met Gala. Like, what you thinking? Okay, well, if you got all these people, then you better get them on the phone, get the calling. So Phaedra was trying to be big shit in the moment to call somebody, like, right there. Like, ooh, let me call this person. That person didn't even answer the phone. So she's like, oh, yeah, you know what? It's okay. I'll figure it out because I'm the best fundraiser in ATL. And, yeah, we going to get this. Don't worry, Jackie. Don't worry. So Jackie looking at her like, ooh, Phaedra, please, I hope you ain't about to drop the ball on this one. And that's how we end the episode. So we'll get to the next one and see how the Met Gala go. If it's going to be on that episode or if it's going to be like the one after that. Because, yeah, where do we go from here? So, all right. Or at least I know we definitely probably going to get them husbands and Dr. Greg, Dr. Damon conversation. Maybe that'll happen on the next episode. Either way, it was all right. I'll see y'all later. Bye.